happy to see you in this day. Okay. My
Thank you,
students
Miss
say,
Hassan. Thank you so
yeah,
much. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. My pleasure. My students say that you are very beautiful.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can we start right now, Miss
Yes, yes,
Usmonova?
yes. If you
Okay.
are ready, I can
Yeah.
start the lesson. Good
Okay,
morning,
Mr.
Mr.
Agus.
Agus.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You shared the PowerPoint by yourself, or Mr. Agus sharing your PowerPoint,
Yes,
Miss
yes.
Usmonova?
I have prepared for you the PPT presentation on the topic of strategies and techniques of speech.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
This Mr.
it's
Agus.
about how to achieve the professional and
Mhm.
successful speech in front of the audience. And it's no matter it how will be, for example, the business meeting or some kind of professional, some kind of educational speech. It's some general tips and tricks about the speech etiquette, speech behavior. Okay.
Okay.
If it's interesting topic for you, I need your some kind of interesting some kind of questions during the meeting, during the lesson.
Okay. Yeah.
So
We are ready to and
listen, yeah.
apa? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe my student is already to ask the question
Mhm.
after you share the PowerPoint. Okay.
Okay. So we live in the very globally connected lifetime, very globally connected world today. And so we have a lot of communicating people during the our each day, during the day. I mean, so I need everyone needs how to do an achievable and professional and successful speech, successful some kind of discourse in verbal or non-verbal ways in front of the audience. So, and we are going to see the ways of speech. Speech. What is speech itself? Speech is uh, our feelings or our thoughts, our opinions, our ideas about something, and the way of revealing it our in both verbal or non-verbal ways in with the help of non-verbal and verbal tools, I mean. So, our speech may be for entertaining purposes or some kind of informative speech we can give to the audience, and persuasive some kind of speech we can give. So, Mr. Ibra Mufti, are you ready to the listening? Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, this is my work for you. Strategies and tactics of speech behavior. So, I'm Usmonova Mohin Bonu, and I work at the University of Pedagogy and Economy. Yeah, I'm English teacher. I cannot hear you, Mrs. Afsun.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Did you hear my sound or my voice, Miss Usmanova?
Yes, yes. You can
Okay.
call me just Miss Bonu or Miss Mohin Bonu.
Oh ya, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Bonu. Oke,
No,
teman-teman nanti bisa panggil Miss
no.
Bonu begitu ya. Barangkali ada yang ingin ditanyakan, silakan ditanyakan ke Miss Bonu gitu. Tapi
Okay.
disimak terlebih dahulu. Ya,
Yeah. So, what is speech? Speech is, as we said is above, speech is the expression of our feelings, or it's the expression our thoughts or our ideas, our feelings, our emotions, or it's the ability of expressing some materials with the help of nonverbal or verbal items, tools. I mean. So, and it's also the formal way addressing to somebody on some purposes. Okay, and the speech may be in any kind of purposes, and we may going to some information give for somebody or some audience, and we may want to persuade somebody to some goals, or it may be also for entertaining purposes. It So there is no any problem.
maybe not yet, Miss Bonu. Not yet. Maybe you must go. Uh, please go on. Next slide, maybe,
Yes,
Miss Bonu. Okay, please,
thanks.
Mr. Agus.
And during our giving our speech in the front of audience, not everyone, I mean, we can say some of us have some problems, kind of nervousness and anxiety and hesitation for standing in front of the big audience and giving a long speech, and kind of uh, afraid of standing on the public, yeah, during the speech. And we have some kind of tips. So the first one is uh, actually, nerves are good for somebody, because adrenaline hormones helps us to be more alert and to be kind of to be ready for giving our best performances. Okay, and for and giving up the nervousness, it takes us. It takes some kind of practice, of course, on ourselves, and our material should be ready. Our material should be ready, and it should be matching to the our audience's age, our audience's level, and if if you can, the next slide. Yeah. The second tip is knowing our audience, because our speech is about them, is for them, for the audience. Yes, we should know beforehand who is going to listen us, who is going to take our help by our speech, who we are going the speech for whom. because we should prepare our material according to their level, according to their knowledge level, psychologically mind of level. Yes, and we should learn about our listeners, our audience, as we can, as much as we can, and this will help us determining, yeah, our choice of words, our tone, uh, our correct language for giving the information, and it gives us to organize our material, our speech. You are very glad, yeah, from our lesson. It seems to me
So
like,
interesting, Miss Bonus. So interesting.
is it
Yeah,
understandable?
yeah. Maybe we can understand, but your apa PowerPoint is so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Not
can
by,
understand.
not
Thank you.
by my words, by my PPT. Yeah.
Ya, ya, sama saja sebenarnya. Silakan.
Okay.
The bot. It's so good.
So
Maybe the next.
we talked about two tips. The first one
Mhm.
is uh, nervousness, how to give up our nervous and anxiety, and second was knowing our listeners, our audience. Okay. So next. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Afsun. And the third tip is organizing our material in the most effective manners to attain our purpose. What does it mean? So it means that we should organize our visual patterns, our visual materials must more concise and more clear way, in more clear way. Okay, when it shouldn't contain a lot of words, a lot of sentences, but it should be clear by one picture or by one table, by one some kind of schedule, and because in front of the big audience you should clarify your material for all the attendant, they, you sure? Okay, you are very you very a lot of people, yeah. Okay, and after giving our parts of speech, we should also ask their feedbacks, their ideas during the parts of our giving lectures, for example, giving speech, giving talks. Okay, not only talking ourselves, because we can if we give long and monotonous speech, the audience may be bored. Yeah, and in parts, in between the parts of our speech, we should ask about their feedbacks, and about their feedback we should adapt it, not ignore them. And so delivering the speech will guarantee that we lose the attention of our confusing the even the most devoted listeners. Okay, so the first one is, yeah, fifth, sorry, in front of the audience, you shouldn't play a role as a lecturer. Okay, it mustn't. It shouldn't be your role. It shouldn't be your just. You shouldn't behave yourself like as a man, like as a person. You should be just yourself. You should feel yourself in the public, in front of the public, very freely, and you will establish better credibility if your personality shines. Okay, your own personality, and your audience will trust that you have to say if they can see you as a real person. You should prove yourself as a real, not like a, ready lecturer. Okay, and so, and the sixth tip is using the humor sense, using the sense of humor, telling the stories, using effective language. Nima degani u tepadagisini chiqaring. Nima deyaptilar? Okay. Between the parts of our speech, our lecture, we can use a short stories about which matches our talks, and as an example. Okay, our story, our humor should work as an example to our lecture. It will be real situation for the listeners, and we should use the effective language, appropriate language uh, for our listeners, for our audience. What kind of what does it mean, appropriate language? For example, it will be according to our listeners level, and our listener psychological level, I mean. So if you can, the next slide, please. Isn't it boring for you? No?
I don't think so. No.
But,
It's so good, so interesting
but
for me.
yeah, but the other students sitting very silent, just
Yeah,
listen.
maybe it's waiting to you to finish your PowerPoint, so they are
If you have
can
a question, you may
ask
ask
question.
right
Ya,
now.
maybe ya mungkin ada pertanyaan sebelum Miss Bonu melanjutkan salindianya, teman-teman. Ditanya
So,
biar tidak sepi-sepi amat, ya.
Miss
Maybe you
Miss
can raise
Maria,
hand.
Miss Eliza, and Miss
Ya, Miss
Rahma, I'm waiting
Eliza.
for your for your questions about the lesson.
Iya, akan sangat senang jika ada pertanyaan
Isn't
katanya.
it
Silakan,
boring for you?
Liza.
Nope.
No, nope. Boring dah kalian. Dijawab aja no gitu. Ayo Mbak Eliza atau siapapun.
Okay.
Oke,
So, Mrs.
ya.
Mrs.
Dilanjutkan saja.
Rachel, how are you?
Rahel ditanya Rahel. Rahel ditanya Rahel. Miss Rahel.
Oh, sorry, Rachel. Sorry,
Ya,
Rachel. I read it as a Rachel, yeah?
ya.
Yeah.
The same name. It's no problem. It's
Okay.
okay, Miss Bonu. Yeah.
Thank
There are
you.
so many student raise hand. Miss Bonu.
So, are there really 22 persons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was so
Which one you? Yeah, you choose to ask the question, Miss Bonu.
Yes,
Maybe there are Ibra or siapa ya? Surya. Surya,
it's very
you raise.
interesting for me and
Mhm.
their impression about our lessons, their questions.
Yeah. Okay. Ibra, halo. Ibra tadi jangan berisik sendiri oh. Ya, Ibra.
Bukan saya Bu Iqbal Bu tadi Bu.
Oh, Eliza, Eliza. Oh, ya yang benar nanyanya Iqbal. Gimana ya?
So,
Iqbal ask you, where are you from, Miss Ponu?
so I am from Uzbekistan. I am from Kashkadarya.
Ya, bisa ditanyakan
Miss, you
kabarnya.
speak Indonesia, Miss.
Ya, halo Surya. Gimana
Halo.
Surya? Can you permit Surya as your as the question? Maybe? Ya, biar aku yang
Uh,
dijelasin. Ya, silakan Surya.
So,
Tova, you can speak in Indonesia
no, I
language.
cannot. No, I cannot speak in Indonesian language. Sorry. So,
Waduh.
Maybe next time we can learn about Miss Ponu.
okay.
Iya, kita juga nanti belajar bahasa Inggris ya sama Miss Bono. Iya, oke.
Yes.
Eliza, please.
So, can we go on our lesson? I mean,
Oke.
it's
Ya,
only
please.
4 slides.
Ya, ya.
So during our speech, during our talk, you shouldn't read on the by paper unless you are have to. What does it mean? It's very ugly situation if you read your talkings, if you read your speech on by the paper. Okay, you should learn by heart your words because it's your own words. Okay. You shouldn't read from the script.
Ya. Jadi lebih baik tidak membaca skrip kalau kita sedang berbicara di depan
Yes,
umum.
it's
Intinya begitu.
incorrect in front of audience.
Iya.
And you should maintain the eye contact with your listeners because it proves that you have very high self-confidence and you are ready to the lecture, to the speech. So you have no any any anxiety, any nervousness. Yeah.
Jadi ada eye contact ya. Jadi supaya meredakan kegrogian. Jadi melihat audiens melihat saudara itu lebih percaya diri dengan adanya eye contact atau kontak mata begitu.
Are you translating my words to your
Iya,
friends?
iya, I'm so sorry. Jadi biar
No, it's no
bisa
problem.
paham.
It's no
Okay,
problem.
thank you. Please go
Eye
on.
contact. Yes, eye contact it's a tool of messaging between you and your listeners. Okay, if you just look on the floor or just the sailing, the audience will not want to listen you because uh, they don't feel the feelings about your personality, about your speech, about your readiness.
Kelihatan kalau saudara itu siap kalau kita menggunakan kontak mata. Jadi personalitinya jauh lebih kelihatan, rasa percaya dirinya lebih kelihatan ketika kita kontak mata dengan lawan bicara kita atau audiens. Gitu. Please go on, Miss Ponu.
Okay. The next slide. And during our giving our talk, you can use your body language, your gesture, and you should use your voice and your the tone of your voice correctly and effectively. And you should omit nervous gestures. What does it mean, omit nervous gesture? You shouldn't reveal your nervous symptoms during the speech. Okay. Okay. Next. Grab the attention at the beginning and the close with a dynamic end. Does it mean grab the attention of audience and from the beginning? Grabbing the attention, it means to hold your audience looking at yourself, listening at yourself. You should be sure that that they are listening to you. They are understanding you, your speech, your voice, your words. Okay. You shouldn't just talking in front of the audience. It means it. So
Please go
okay.
on, maybe. Yeah. Next.
I
Next,
think
Mr. Agus.
it's last. And as we said above, use audiovisual aids wisely. Okay. Our visual aids should be clear and not so complex. Okay, it should be simple, and of course it should be eye-catching, because if eye-catching material stands in front of you, you may look it on purpose. Yeah. And too many visuals can break your connection to the audience, because if there is so many visual aids, listeners may confuse, and they don't understand you. They don't understand your speech. They confuse among the pictures.
Jadi pergunakan segala perangkat pada saat berpidato itu dengan bijak begitu ya, misalnya tata letaknya atau mungkin kejernihan suaranya jika menggunakan mikrofon begitu ya teman-teman ya. Oke, Miss Bonu, please go on.
Yes. Thank you for your attention. And so
finish.
yes.
Yeah, maybe we can ask many questions maybe to Miss Bonu. Okay. Ada yang mau bertanya? Eliza. Maybe Eliza wants ask a question for you, Miss Bonu.
I have a question, Miss.
Yeah.
What do you think about good speech? Can you give an example of a good character in a speech?
My opinion about the good speech, yeah? Okay.
Orang ngerti, Miss.
Yeah.
So, as we said above, good speech in front of the audience, in front of the listener, should be in the appropriate tone, in the appropriate language, according to the listener's level. What does it mean, level? And the listeners have level of knowledge and level of psychological mind, yes? And our material should match to our listeners, not our own, not ourselves. Okay. If our speech is understandable to our audience, it may be a good speech, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Maybe you can give the example, the person, the good character in speech. Maybe the person in the world, maybe Barack Obama or anyone.
Yes. And who is the best character in delivering the speech? Yeah.
Yeah.
So many leaders of the countries, they may be called as an best characters of delivering speech because they have a lot of practice, a lot of experience in standing on the public, in standing on the crowding of people. Yeah. And of course, many activists we have which delivers the speech talkings along in the front of the public activists we have.
Thank you. Jadi kalau kita
Thank you so
berbicara yang
much for the question, Miss Taya. Yes or Tia?
Miss Eliza.
No, I see the Tia Aulia.
Oh Tia. Oh iya ya. Tia, Mbak Tia mau bertanya?
Tia, yes.
Yes, Tia.
Okay. Oh, where is Eliza or Eliza?
Hilyatus Saada. Hilya, maybe you can ask your question to Miss Bolu, please.
Okay, okay. You bilang thank you dulu. Thank you for material today. I want to ask, can you give me example about appropriate language, please? Because I don't understand.
Okay, understand your question, and thank you so much for your attendable listening, Miss Helia. Yes, Miss Helia. Okay. Appropriate language means that what kind of language we call appropriate. Appropriate language should be according to our listeners' situation, our listeners' mind. We shouldn't talk just only in formal language. It shouldn't be too more formal. Miss Helia, are you hearing me? Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. It shouldn't be too more formal because our listeners are not formal listeners. Appropriate language, for example, if our listeners are teenagers, we should talk with them freely, more freely, as we talking with our brothers, with our siblings. Yeah. And if we are giving a speech in front of the elder people, I mean the grown ups, it should be our language should be more in respective way, and it should be items of formality, I mean. And if we are talking to the more in younger listeners, in front of the younger listeners, we may choose some kind of childish what does it mean, dialects maybe. Yeah, more body language, more gestures than just talking. It's called appropriate language. It doesn't mean that English, Spanish, Turkish, Arabic, it's way of language, it's way of talking. Miss Healy, is it understandable?
Miss Hilya,
Yes.
sudah bisa dipahami. Jadi bahasa yang baik itu disesuaikan dengan kondisinya. Misalnya kalau kita berbicara dengan anak kecil, gesturnya harus bagaimana, kemudian cara berbicaranya bagaimana. Gitu. Situasi dan kondisi kita sesuaikan dengan bahasa kita atau mungkin komunikasi kita seperti itu. Yang bisa saya tangkap begitu ya, Mbak Hilya ya. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you, Miss
Miss.
Bono. Mm-mm.
Thank you so much also. Thank you. See you next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we can take a picture together so we can document our,
Who can
yeah,
take?
to,
I
Jepangnya ya?
take note.
yeah, di on kan semua, di on kan kameranya ya. Jadi kita bisa berfoto bersama dengan Miss Bono.
Who can
It's
take a
finished,
picture?
Miss Bono? It's
Yes,
finished?
if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Okay, it's never mind, and I really thank to you for today. The good lesson and good everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we can meet again in next week
Yes.
or when?
Yes.
Next week. Okay. Yeah.
Anytime you want, if you are free.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Bono. We can take a picture together, ya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ya, silakan Pak Agus. Ya, diaktifkan dulu kameranya Mbak Putri, Mbak Pia Aulia, yang lainnya. Putri Melani. Mm-mm. Sudah Pak Agus? Yap. Okay. So, cheers. Okay, sudah?
Is it all? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Have a nice day,
time,
Miss Bono.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank
So, thank you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
The next one.